Thank you, Dr. Susmita, and I have to thank my friend Dr. Vinay for giving me this opportunity. Actually, I'm very, very poor in physics. I don't know why he has given this principles of OCT and HRT. Anyway, this is not that important for our day-to-day practice. But anyway, what is important is how it's the clinical implication and how to interpret HRT and OCT. What the other my friends are going to talk in the next few minutes. And of course, the glaucoma is an optic neuropathy, and also the loss of retinal ganglion cells, and to have a functional loss, it will take up to 5 years, and to have established field defect, it will take, you have to lose at least about 35 to 45% of the retinal ganglion cells. Till then, you have to rely on the careful evaluation of the optic nerve head and retinal fiber layer. But there are certain occasions where you cannot find out anything in the retina, which you have to rely on the imaging modality. Especially various modalities have come into picture. There are optic disc structure. To analyze optic disc structure, there are so many things are available, including photography and optic nerve head analyzer, CSL, that is confocal scanning laser ophthalmoscope, and OCT. And for nerve fiber layer, in addition to that, you have GDX and RTA, and of course ocular blood flow. These are three major modalities in imaging in glaucoma. Of course, disc analysis and neural analysis. HRT is, as I mentioned, is a confocal scanning laser ophthalmoscope. What it does is it take a two-dimensional picture accretion and analysis is the main thing that it does, and also it will give you a quantitative analysis of the retinal fiber layer, and also quantification, the change over time. These are the major advantage of this HRT. The basic principle of HRT is the spot illumination and spot detection. That's more important in HRT. Here what happened is the light source this light source is passed through an aperture, and when it this beam splitter is there, so this beam splitter is divides this light source, and one beam is going towards the retina, the other towards the light detector. So here the laser is used as a light source and reflected off a point in the retina to a detector, and this is a nice this thing. When the laser beam approaches the beam splitter, this beam splitter, and this is condensed by a lens into the retina, and this is reflected back into the beam splitter and goes to the detector. And suppose if there is a focal plane is little posterior away from the focal plane, then automatically it will not come to the detector, so you won't get any image of the retina. That's the basic principle of HRT. And this 2D image is optical section of the focal plane. So when the focal plane, as I told, moved back, it forms series of optical sections at different depths. And there are about 28 million spatial data points it will create, and 1 millimeter, it scans 2 millimeter of the optic, that's the posterior part of the retina, and each millimeter has got 16 images, total of 32 images, and each image is about 0.6 to 5 millimeter in thickness. And here the diode laser is used as the aiming beam is about 670 nanometer, and with a repetition rate of 20 hertz, and of course 32 images, as I already mentioned, and it's digitalized in frames of 256 and 256 picture elements. I think these are all physics. This is how raw data is checked and aligned, and this thing. The procedure is very simple. There is a chin rest, and the patient has to keep his forehead rest and look at the eyepiece and one eyeglasses. One of the advantage of the HRT is you don't need to have a pupillary dilatation of this one. So look at the red square, and on either side of the red square there's a green dot. So whether right or left, they have to look at the green dots, and then you have to switch the machine to take the photograph. And this is 2D image, about 36 image into compiled to form a 3D image of the optic nerve head and retina. Usually the anterior, the first focal plane in vitreous is very dark, and then you have this is a vitreous in the anterior vitreous, and this is it's moved posterior is slightly bright. There's a retinal surface is bright, and in the third one you see, you can very well see the optic disc. When you go posterior, you can very well see the details of the optic disc here. Then the posterior thing is very much faded. So the two things, the two layers are very, very important in this thing. These are the clinical various zones what they are going to describe in the next this one. It's better to divide the HRT into 8 zones so that you won't miss any of the findings, so that it will be very useful this thing. Another important thing is a contour line. Here contour line, we have to draw the contour line in cases with HRT, but of course the recent advance the HRT3, the machine will automatically draw the contour lines, and also you must know about the reference plane also. Since there is no time, I will not be on. Moorfield regression analysis, another thing which Dr. Susmita and Rajul will be dealing with it. And of course the HRT3, they don't have Moorfield's this one. Sorry. Of course, coming to the OCT is a little different from the HRT, and here what it is just a non-invasive procedure. It will take image of the optic nerve head and retina, and as well as macula also. It's very almost similar to that of ultrasound, where it's will have the resolution of 10 micron. Now the latest one is got 3 micron resolutions, and also when compared to ultrasound, here the speed improves the resolution, which is not in cases with ultrasound. The basic principle of this OCT is the Michelson interferometer. Most of you heard about this Michelson interferometer, and I am not going to detail about the Michelson interferometer. And here what happened is here the light source. Here the light from the light source enters into the through the beam splitter. It divides into 2 beam. One enters into the eye, and one enters into the reference mirror. Here the distance between the beam splitter and the reference mirror is constant, and here we don't know about the thickness of the retina in the human eye. So this difference in the echo, this reflectivity of the light beam will give the difference in the distance, will give the this measured by the this computer, and this later on will give the thickness of the retina. That's a basic principle of this OCT. And of course the light source here used is the diode 820 nanometer, and it is close to the infrared, and it's a light beam is, as I mentioned, the light beam is simultaneously sent to the eye and reference mirror. The light penetrates through the retinal tissue layers and is reflected back. The returning light is compared to the reference and allows a computer reconstruction of the underlying. This is the basic of this Michelson principle in cases with the OCT. These are again things. So you will have a very good picture of BTS from the and also the retina and various layers of the retina. The main advantage of this, you can quantify the retinal fiber layer thickness when compared to the HRT. HRT, it will give you just a topographic analysis of the retinal fiber layer, but here you can have a quantification of the retinal fiber layer as well as the you can have three parameters, three important areas of the optic this retinal, like optic nerve head and macula as well as a retinal nerve fiber layer thickness. Thank you very much.